Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to this ritual for the full moon in Gemini. I'm about to go live and do this again, but I wanted to practice first and record this so that the people who are not able to join me live will have a recording. So what I want you to do is shake off anything that does not belong in this space. Anything that you're worried about that might be happening later, anything that was happening before this, just take a moment to fully arrive here with me in this moment for this ritual. Now, full moon rituals usually involve a lot of writing. We're not going to be doing a lot of writing today, but if you have a little notebook and pen, there's a couple things that you might want to write down, just so you don't forget them later. The other thing that you will need, if you have one, is your magic wand. This baby is Tourmaline and Artemisia. I love this puppy. It was made by my gorgeous sister, Rebecca McKeon, who I work with in Magic Wands. And by the way, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Odd. I am here to help you connect with your natural magic so that you can live your most lit up life. Now, there are 4 parts to today's ritual. Normally, again, for a full moon, we are setting intentions for the next cycle. But because this one's a little bit different, we're actually it's going to feel more like a new moon. We're going to be doing a lot more reflecting on the past, and here's why. On 12/12, we start a new cycle for the entire year. That is the Yule cycle, in which we find the winter solstice. So the new moon on December 12th kicks off a whole new solar cycle. And so this is the last full moon in the last moon cycle in this solar cycle. So this is our opportunity to look over the entire year, the past year, and think about what's working for us, what's not working for us, what we want to change for the next cycle, and generally just feeling the feelings that we want to be feeling as we move into this next cycle. And so there are 4 R's that we're going to go through today to help us do that. Reflect, release, reinforce, and relax. And so we're going to go ahead and start with reflect. We're going to look back over the past year and think about one thing to celebrate, one thing to iterate, and one way to integrate that into our daily routine. So let's start with one thing to celebrate. So this is something that is working for you in your process. Now, I really encourage you not to focus on something conditional, not to focus on something specific that has happened over the last year, but think more about the process in general. What is working for you? What do you want to celebrate about that? I, for example, want to celebrate how much more aware I'm becoming of the magic within me and around me. I am so much more attuned now to little synchronicities, the little signs that show up all the time to encourage me, the evidence that is all around me that this magic is real. I am becoming more and more attuned to it, more and more aware of it, and more lit up by it. So that's what I'm celebrating in this cycle. Next, we want one thing to iterate. And what I mean by that is something that's not so much working for you, something that's been holding you back from acting as the person that you truly desire to be. What is it that you've been doing that's been sabotaging yourself, that's just not working, that's not helping you feel the way you want to feel and act as the person you want to be? So for me, for example, I want to iterate how often I lose trust and start to try to think about the how and focus on the how. How is this going to happen? I want to let go of the how completely in this next cycle. Just let go of it. It doesn't matter. Not my problem. We'll talk more about that in the last section, but that's what I really want. I want to let go of the how and trust more. And finally, one way to integrate that into our daily routine. So how I'm going to integrate that into my daily routine is just to connect with my guides more. So every morning, I'm going to do a connection practice with Source, with my inner being, with my guides, however you want to explain whatever that being connected to the collective consciousness is for you. I want to have a short little practice that helps me do that. And so here's what I'm going to start doing. I did this morning and it was awesome. I'm going to be doing this every day from now on. I'm going to wake up and first thing, I'm going to picture colored light as little root-like tendrils going down from my feet into the ground and out of the crown of my head, out into the sky, and then coming up around as a globe all around me, a sphere that protects my energy, my most precious resource, my energy, and keeps it in here for me. Protects my authentic energy. So I'm connected to everything, but I'm also protected within my little energy bubble. So that's what I'm going to be doing as my integration practice. So I want you to think about what can you do as a new habit. Now, I want to give you a couple of rules, actually 3 rules, for creating a new habit to make sure that it's going to stick. Now, the first rule is that it needs to be easeful. It's got to be easy. It can't be something complicated or difficult. It's got to be something easeful. I recommend that it takes you 2 minutes or less to do whatever this thing is. 2 minutes or less. A simple new little tweak to an existing routine or habit. So I already have a morning routine. I'm just adding that onto my morning routine. The next thing that it should be is enjoyable. This is so important. I cannot overemphasize this. You have to make it fun. It's got to be something that you look forward to doing. Otherwise, you won't do it. You will find every excuse in the world to not do the thing. So it's got to be something that you look forward to in some way. If it's exercise, make sure it's exercise that you enjoy. Make sure it's something that feels really good in your body. Okay. And finally, it needs to be repeatable. It's got to be something that you can do at the same time and the same day every time so that it becomes a habit. It becomes a routine. You don't have to think about it after a while. It just happens automatically. So do it the same time, the same way every time so that it is easily repeatable. All right, moving on to release. This is such a good one. We all need this so much. Release, release, release. That last cycle, it's gone. Okay? Everything that happened in that cycle, we're letting go of it. It's gone. It's the past. It doesn't matter anymore. And we're also letting go of anything that is not going to serve us in this next cycle. So this could be limiting beliefs. This could be old stories, stuff that happened. This could be situations, relationships. Anything that is not helping you to act as the person that you most desire to be needs to be left behind. And here's the beauty. You don't even need to know what those things are. You don't even need to name them. You don't need to think about them. In fact, I highly recommend you don't. Anytime one of these comes up, just don't pick it up. Pick something else up instead. Shift your focus onto something that does feel right to you, that does resonate with you. Okay? If it's not for you, just leave it. But here's the thing. We can just give it over to Source and just say, hey, Source, I know that you know what resonates with me. You know what I want. You know who I want to be. You know what's for me and what's not for me. So I'm just going to give it over to you to release everything that is not for me. Now, this comes with a warning label. Let me be very clear about this. This shit works. So if you are not ready to release these things, do not ask the universe to release them for you, because they will be released. And it is not always fun and easy. Okay? Sometimes this stuff hurts. Sometimes we lose jobs. Sometimes we lose relationships. Sometimes we lose friendships. Sometimes we lose stuff. Okay? We lose things that we think we need. Now, we don't need them, or we wouldn't have lost them. But it can really feel hard. We can lose havingness around that stuff. So I just want to warn you, if you are attached to anything that is, you know, in your heart, not really serving your greatest good, then don't do this. But if you are ready to take that magic leap, then let's do this. If you have a wand, it can help. If you don't have a wand, that's just fine. You can just say this spell, speak these words out loud, and it will still work for you. So, here are the words. Ready? You might want to write these down. I now release entirely everything except what is meant for me. So mote it be. And now we're going to reinforce, because let me tell you, there are some interesting energies globally that are coming in that may try to encroach on your little energy bubble, that may try to influence what you feel, what you think, and how you act. They may try to influence what you know to be true. They may try to influence your beliefs. And so what we need to do is really reinforce what we know to be true, our why. Why we do the things that we do. What are we here for? We don't have to know our deepest purpose, okay? That's not what this is. It's just knowing what we care about, knowing what we value, what's important to us. But we're going to do this in a very specific way. We're going to focus on what we want to feel, experience, and share more of. So, again, I want you to speak out loud. In this coming cycle, I want to feel, experience, and share more of, and fill in the blank. For me, this time, it's freedom. Freedom. I want to feel, experience, and share more freedom. More authenticity. To me, those two things are so linked. You cannot be free if you are not authentic. You cannot be authentic if you are not free. Freedom and authenticity. I'd love to know what yours is. So please share after this. All right. We also need to protect our boundaries. And so I'm going to do a little refresher course here, because I always find whenever I bring up boundaries that people don't necessarily know what a boundary is. Really? They have this messed up idea of what a boundary is, which it is not. So we're going to talk first about what is a boundary not. Well, it's not just saying to someone, hey, I don't like that. Please stop doing that. That is not an effective boundary. Okay. What you've just done is said to someone else, hey, I need you to be responsible for my own boundaries. They can't and they won't. You are responsible for your own boundaries. And when I say responsible, I mean response able. You are able to respond to whatever comes because you are in charge of your own boundaries. You have your personal power fully intact. And so here is what a boundary actually sounds like. That behavior does not resonate with me. And so if that behavior continues, I am going to let them know what you are going to do in order to protect yourself from that unwanted energy. I am going to remove myself from this situation. I'm going to go for a walk. I am going to go home. I am going to leave this space and reground myself in the energy that works best for me. I'm going to take some space and do what I need to do to realign, reattune. I pulled this card this morning, by the way, Attunement. This is where we're at right now. This, by the way, is from this amazing deck by, oh, what's her name? Diane Givens. She's wonderful. This is a beautiful deck. I highly recommend. Chakra Angels Energy Attunement deck. Attunement, again, that word keeps coming up for me today. So make sure that you are putting in place boundaries that is going to help protect, again, your most precious resource, your authentic energy. Finally, we come to the fourth R, relax and trust. Show up for your process every day. Rain or shine, doesn't matter. Just show up with your authentic energy. Release the outcome entirely. Doesn't matter. Get rid of the how. Get rid of it. Throw it away. You don't need it. It's not your business to know how. You are not the right person, the right source, the right perspective point to know the how. You have a very limited, you're like a periscope, okay? You can only focus on one thing at a time. So what you need to focus on is the feeling. Feeling the way you want to feel. Raising that vibration, right? Acting as the person that you most want to be. And let Source take care of the rest. Source is so good at this, so much better at this than you could ever, ever, ever hope to be. I keep getting evidence of this over and over and over again. I'm going to give you one example. So my husband, who I absolutely adore, has really struggled to find the right kind of work. Ever since he was young, he was forced into labor that really didn't resonate with him. And then that labor kept getting taken away from him. And so even that he couldn't do for various reasons, health reasons, dumb people blacklisting him for doing the right thing, reasons, industries being awful, okay? No fault of his own. He keeps losing that work. And so he was in this place of really feeling like, I don't know what to do next. And he finally broke and said, okay, universe, you take this. It's too big for me. It's too much for me. I can't figure this out. And guess what happened? A job that he never knew existed, that he couldn't even have imagined, that was so perfect for him, it sounded like the job description was written by him for him. It is a ridiculously ideal job. It landed in his lap. Boom. Out of nowhere. He loves this job. Loves this job. It pays him better than any job he has ever had before. He loves the people he's working with. He loves everything about this job. Okay? It's incredible. There's no way he could have come up with something better on his own. But he asked the universe to take care of it, to take it over. And the universe did. And it always does. It is always working on our behalf. So I need you to know, not just believe. Okay, stop believing. Let go of belief. I need you to know that the universe is on your side. I need you to know that you are always supported and loved unconditionally. I need you to know that you are creator and created. I need you to know that everything is always working out for you. That your ideal reality already exists. And all you need to do is notice it. All you need to do is appreciate it. That's it. Just appreciate what is. And more and more and more of what you want to feel and experience will come into your life. I promise you. I promise you. Miracles are real. Magic is real. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy your amazing full moon energy, and I will see you for the new moon.